Super. Well, welcome to episode 13 of Milwauking. I am Chris Mullenbach, joined by Azure Hevesy, and our guest today, Mark Clements, the artistic director for the Milwaukee Repertory Theater. Thanks for taking the time and doing this with us.
Sure, yeah.
Really appreciate it.
My favorite realtor.
My favorite realtor, thank you.
So to get us started here, we'll talk a little bit about kind of your background and Chris, with Chris here, but what brought you to Milwaukee? Tell us a little bit about where you're from originally and maybe how long you've been in Milwaukee.
Yeah, from England originally, and I came to Milwaukee to interview for the artistic director job here in 2009. I was appointed later that year, started officially 2010, and been based happily in the city for this is my 10th season, so yeah. Here we are. Year 10, I know.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What's the one thing that you'd like everybody to know about the Rep?
Well, we produce more theatre events and live performance art events than any other arts organisation in the city, like by a country mile. So we've got a lot of great art for the city outside, the ballet, the opera, the MSR. But I mean, we do 700 performances nearly every year. We operate over 3 of our own performance spaces, Quadracci Powerhouse, which we're in now, Stemke Studio, which is across the way, which is about 250 seats, and then the Stackner Cabaret, which is about 170 seats. So we have that, and then of course we do the long tradition of Christmas Carol in the Pabst Theatre every year.
I was telling Chris I can't wait to see that.
Yeah,
it's more of a tradition, family tradition.
It's a beautiful production, and it snows in the theatre on you. Yeah, so
That's
awesome.
Yeah, you're in it, in the snow, outside and inside,
right,
probably at that time.
Love it. Outside of coming to shows, as the community here in Milwaukee, how can we not necessarily participate, how can we give back to or be participant of the Rep outside of again coming to the shows?
Yeah, well, as I say, we do 700 shows, and in addition to that, we have a very robust education policy, a community engagement that's in a lot of the neighborhoods around the city. So we've become way more than just a place where you buy a ticket to see a show. There's a lot of education and participation around the art and the events, and the way that the theatre is a leading not-for-profit, both not just in the city but in the country, one of the top probably 15 to 20 theatres of this scale in the country. We have a huge impact on the community and have gear our programming to align with that. We try and tap into the issues of the day, where I think the theatre is a great way of being able to not be in this very polarized society that we're living in right now, as a way of trying to facilitate plays that evoke conversation about difficult topics sometimes, but hopefully in a entertaining and non-didactic way, and so that's a big part of it. So there's many ways to participate. Obviously, as a subscriber, I mean, I feel like most things, use it or lose it. A lot of people go, "Oh, I love the Rep. When did you last come?" Well, probably not for a couple of years. Well, it's like that restaurant that closes. Not that we're in any danger of closing, but it's like that restaurant that everybody loves. And when did you last go to it? Oh, a year ago. Well, wait, if you went once a month, it'd probably still be open. So I think, you have to use the facility and not just take it for granted that it's there. I think that's an important thing that we as citizens can do about the things that we value and love in the city.
What is your favorite thing about working in theatre?
Well, for me, it's I was born into it. My parents were actors and then became producers. I've actually, ironically, spent a lot of my life trying to get away from it, but kind of gave up after a while. I'm just like, no, I'm very. I feel I'm very fortunate to be involved in it. I like the people that surround us. I like the people that we serve. I love the fact that we can have a footprint on the city just beyond entertaining people, but in being an educator and an inspiration. being a leader in terms of leading on certain issues that we feel strongly about. I think it's a great privilege, and it's this, doing it at the very highest level and in one of the leadership positions in the company is a huge privilege, and one that's not lost on me every day. So I feel very fortunate.
So West Side Story, the production is going on now.
Yeah, you're right.
We're here.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about, sheer numbers of people that it takes to get a production like that off the ground.
Yeah.
Just because we see the final product, but everything that goes into it from, beginning, from auditions all the way through. Tell us a little bit about just the team size that it takes to put that kind of production together.
Yeah, well, this is a big cast. Obviously, there's 33 people in the cast, and the musicians that live behind there. And then you have, as you rightly point out, a whole army of people, both on the production side, who are servicing the production, the stage management, the lighting, the sound, the crew. So there's a small army of people every night just making it happen and all, pulling all the component parts together. And then, of course, you've got a whole army of people selling tickets, the marketing, the development. When you buy a ticket for, whether it be something from $25 to $90, you're probably paying only a third of actually what it costs to put that show on, because we're a not-for-profit. So we are, very reliant on our supporters, our donors, our board members, who make that possible and raise millions of dollars, literally. Our operating budget is about $14.7 million, and we actually have about a $25 million impact on the community. By that meaning the people who use the restaurants, parking, everything that you have around that you'll spend in addition to, that's the impact on the community. So it's a very big environment. We use probably hire around about 400 people throughout the year. Yeah. It's a small city. Yeah.
So I was honored to be here for West Side Story on Saturday night.
With your mom?
With my mother, yes.
Yeah.
I appreciated that. It was an amazing production. We saw it in the Heights last season. What I'm blown away by, and I've mentioned this to you, is what does it take from you deciding what show to even have at the Rep up to opening day? What are some of the steps that you go through to make that happen?
Yeah, I feel like the journey that we've come on, and up to the immediate show. So when we were thinking about what comes next after in the Heights, there were things that we felt like West Side Story had to say that would riff off that.
Sure.
And now we're in the process, as West Side Story is on, about thinking about what next season will be. We usually decide in December, announce in February or March. And then really after that, once we've decided on specific shows, and we produce 15 of them throughout the year, over the 4 spaces, we then start assembling the creative teams. Who are the directors? I'm a directing artistic director, so I end up doing about 2 or 3. We have a very huge new play development program. It's become a very important part of the Rep. So we make sure that we try to produce a new piece in each of our performance spaces, so our audiences get to see the plays of the future, and often the plays that we've started here are being exported out. Even actually The Nerd, which is appearing on our stage after this production, that play was written by Larry Shue for this theater, was produced first time here, and has had hundreds, maybe even thousands of productions all around the world. So, it's a kind of, we try and make sure that we are creating the classics for the future. And then we'll put all the creative teams together, the directors, and assemble their chosen designers around that. And then we start mapping it out. So probably, with West Side Story is just as a good example. We just opened a week ago. And we started pre-production for that last February. Wow. It goes that far. It's about a year in the making, everything. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Thank you.
taking the time.
Yeah, it was
again.
a pleasure.
Definitely.
Appreciate
Yeah, I
it.
love what you
very
guys
much.
do.
Yeah, just one of my favorite clients, but one of my favorite people in the city.
Oh, bless you.
So I
Yeah,
think
great.
thanks again,
Good to
Mark.
see you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
very
guys.
much.
Yeah.